Okay, so out of the main things that really drew me to the mood board was number one was the picture of the plates that were taken like they were on a table, and I liked how they varied in color, um, and that they kind of just like cascaded up in the picture because the photo was taken, at an angle, and I liked seeing them go up and down of that. And then the other thing that I really liked in the mood board was I really liked the colors. So keeping those two things in mind as being the two things that really drew my eye, I went ahead and pulled out a mix of pattern papers from the April scrapbook kit. And I really stuck close to the color scheme. There are lots of pinks and purples and blues. There was a light blue, so I went ahead and stuck with that. I also ended up cutting these out because in the right-hand corner of the mood board, there's that picture of those arrows, those signs, and some of them were done in a darker blue, so I went ahead and cut these out, but as I was laying things down, I didn't add anything in. So at this point, I'm just going to leave them there, but I'm not really considering adding them. Because I think that the colors I went with that I have actually laid out on my paper are really a good match for the mood board, and I wanted to stick with that color scheme. So this is what I came up with. Now, just in the mood board, there was lots of black and white, and I really couldn't find anything like that in paper-wise. So there are some black puppy stickers that I found in one of the kits, and so that's an option to bring that black back into the layout. But that is something that's going to come a lot later. So to cut these circles out, I actually went really super old-fashioned, and I went with my circle dies, which is something that I keep and I use because this is much quicker for me to punch out a bunch of circles than it is to go and cut them out on my silhouette. So that is what I went ahead and cut them out in 3 different shape or sizes and a mix of colors. And I already went ahead and kind of laid them down on this purple background paper in a manner that I think I am going to like. Once again, I was going off of that picture of the colorful paper plates that is on the mood board for May. Now, I went ahead and, shocker, I went and picked a colorful pattern paper background, which is way different from my usual white background. So that was kind of bold of me, and I felt really, really empowered at that moment. So I'm going to stick with it because I like it. I did, however, go ahead and cut down another sheet of pattern paper. I felt that this alone was just too kind of boring-ish. So I went ahead and cut my purple background so that I can lay it on top of this like this. And that was an instant lift. And I was like, yes, that makes this background so much more interesting and a lot more fun, I think, and a little less flat. So after I adhere this down here, I'll go ahead and cut this down a little bit so that it is the true 9 by 12 size. But it was an instant lift to the page, and that's something, it's super simple, but that's something if maybe the background isn't really doing it for you, try adding a pattern paper background to it and just showing just the edge, because it just gives just a tiny bit of detail without overwhelming my page. So that is why I went ahead and went with that. Now I am going to pause the video to glue these all down because it'll take me forever. And I'm going to do that not by moving a whole bunch, but I'm just going to lift edges and kind of tack them down with some liquid glue. But after I do that, I'm going to go ahead and add some droplets of gold Heidi Swamp color shine that I have in my stash and I love and I use on almost everything. The reason I went ahead and picked this because I didn't want it to add like too much color, but I wanted to add just a little bit extra detail, and it kind of matches this this goldish color stripe right here. So I thought that was a good way to bring a little bit of that color onto this, and I am just going to drop droplets just down here. No rhyme or reason. So I'm going to go ahead and pause here, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so now that I have everything glued, except for these two, I did not glue this one, and I did not glue this one down, just because these are ones that I might want to fiddle with. I know I want to include them because I like the white that they bring to the layout, but I just kept those unadhered so that I can move them around if I need to. So this is, and as you can see, I haven't glued the back bottom yet, but I'll do that at the very end. So what I have here is a picture that I'm going to use. It's a really small photo, which is kind of what I thought if I did a big page with the big circles, it would look nice with the smaller photo. So this is where I think I'm going to put it. It's a picture of my girl being, my littlest girl. She's being super silly. And that's what my journaling is going to be about, how fun it is to go places with her because she's just a goofball. And I love it. So that is where I believe I'm going to want that to go. Now, I've got some options with titles. I needed something that will contrast really good because I've got so much color going on. So I kind of brought out this, and it says grateful, and this could definitely lead off into my journaling about how grateful I am for her and her fun attitude when we go places together. So I think this might be where I want it to go. But I don't really quite like that because it's just, I don't know. I just don't like it. So, and it's kind of too long of a title for me to just do it this way because it's going to throw off the whole entire dynamic of the page. So, I think I'm going to go like that. I've also considered that I can add it here. This is also an option because it's at the bottom of the page. You have everything leading down from the picture to the title, and I could even still do my journaling there if I wanted to. It wouldn't be a big deal. I wouldn't have to change that up. But that's leaving me a little bit feeling like this picture is kind of lost. So I'm going to have to decide what I want to do so that I can make that picture kind of take center stage. Because yes, the design of the page is fun, but when I'm doing my scrapbooking, it's always the photo is what I want to draw everybody's attention to. So one way that I can do that is just to layer my embellishments around it. So these are some things that I actually picked out that might something that I could lay underneath, and this blue is the same blue as that, so I thought that it might work. So I can see, and also I've got my picture already on pop dots because I thought that I would want it to pop up off the page to give it a little bit more dimension. So I could easily do something like this. It adds just a little bit extra layer of blue. I also have that really fun edge that kind of pops out like that. And it would look like another circle is going through, but I don't really like that one because I just think I have too much circles going on. So that's an option right here is to use this. Just layer it in the background, or it'll give it a little bit, make the picture stand out a little bit more. So that could be that way. This one I kind of picked out because it had the little road sign, and I thought that was really cool. And I'm actually going to cut it. I don't want it. So that is something that I could put on my page. I might even consider adding some pop dots to that just to make it stand up from the background a little bit more. I also pulled out a couple flowers from the ephemera package from Paige Evans' new line. I can never remember the name of it, but I know it's her newest line. I can always add some. Now I got the blue here. I could add something like that. I could do those in pop dots. So that could be ways to kind of draw the attention back to the photo. I've also, let's see what else I considered. I also picked out this, but I'm not going to use that because I just don't think it goes really well. Now, something else that was really cool, and it goes back to this little sign that was inspired by the picture on the mood board, was I liked how it had all the different words. And so I thought that maybe I could use this sheet and maybe pull out some pull out some words that are on here. Also, I could choose these two and just make happy, seek, and have them kind of layered down. So I'm going to go ahead and get those laid down, and then I will show you the final product.